I'm sorry, Casey Law, head of Asia at Web Summit and Rise, is going to have a fireside chat with him. Have a great talk.
All right. Thanks for being here. So I believe the financial secretary, you have to leave in 15 minutes, right? For the next big event. So let's get down to this. So quickly, just to give you context, I've been working in startups in Hong Kong for almost 10 years now. And I've seen the growth of the community from co-work spaces, investors.
Yep.
We have our unicorns now, all coming out of Hong Kong. It's very exciting. And also I'm very happy that Rise is in Hong Kong. This year, we celebrate our 4th year. 15,000 people from around the world come to Hong Kong to learn about the startup ecosystem in Asia. It's very exciting. So Hong Kong is becoming a hotbed of excitement and connections for the rest of Asia. So as the financial secretary of Hong Kong, maybe you'd like to tell everybody what are the main industries or main verticals in Hong Kong that we're looking at in the technology sector?
In the technology sector, we attach a great deal of importance. And it is just not empty talks. In terms of resources, in the past 2 years, we have committed and spent altogether US $10 billion. And this is the first step. And apart from that, I think we do think that it is important to have the right ecosystem so that people in this area will be able to work together, to have stimulations, and to innovate together. In terms of specific areas, we have chosen the focus to be artificial intelligence, biotech, smart city development, and fintech. And this time, I lead a delegation of over 30 businessmen, venture capitalists, and startups to come to Tel Aviv. The idea is to meet with our counterparts here to seek opportunities for collaboration. Yeah.
So right now, there are 2 big things coming out of Hong Kong. I'd say it was the Greater Bay Area and the One Belt, One Road initiative. Maybe you can explain to people what the difference is between the 2 of them and what is Hong Kong's part in it.
All right. The Belt and Road Initiative was announced back in 2013 by President Xi. It's basically, you know the ancient Silk Road. So in modern day, in terms of Belt and Road, on the north, it is the land side of the ancient Silk Road. But on the other hand, the maritime Silk Road, coming down from Fujian, Hong Kong, all the way to Southeast Asia, the Middle East. So the Belt and Road Initiative is seeking to build not just infrastructure development, but the idea is to work with the countries along the corridor, which consists of about over 60 countries, and at different stages of development. In terms of population, it's huge, but in terms of their percentage of GDP growth, is comparatively small. So the idea is for these countries to work together on a mutually beneficial basis to develop infrastructure connectivity, to start off policy dialogues, to enable free flow of capital, to enable people along this corridor to meet up with each other, to build the relationship, connection, and the cultural exchange. And by doing this, increasing trade flow and investment flow, and bring prosperity to people along this corridor. This is one initiative. This is very, I would say, very visionary and grand initiative, but it takes time. The other is the Greater Bay Area. The Greater Bay Area meaning linking Hong Kong, Macau, and 9 cities in the Guangdong province, including notably Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Zhuhai, Dongguan, Weizhou, 9 cities. Altogether, these cities has a combined population of about 69 million, bigger than the UK. In terms of GDP, the aggregate GDP is about 1.5 trillion US dollar, which is comparable to Korea. And Hong Kong being international financial center, also good at certain part of academic research in terms of innovation and technology. And then neighboring Hong Kong is Shenzhen. Shenzhen has quite a couple of major tech companies. And neighboring cities, Dongguan, Guizhou, has advanced manufacturing facilities. So the way we see it, if these cities can work together on a complementary basis, significant synergies can be brought about. The vision is to build this area to have the combined advantage of the New York Bay Area, which is basically financial services, and the San Francisco Bay Area, which is basically high tech. So the idea is to use these 11 cities to become, on the one hand, the international innovation and technology hub of China. And secondly, also the international financial center of China. And this market, 69 million people, would be a very good testing bed for any innovation products to be launched.
So what do you see as Hong Kong's strength to like maybe say Israeli startups to come out and maybe bring their startup to do business out of Hong Kong?
I think it is one country, two system. Being in Hong Kong, we are part of China. So if you come to Hong Kong, you are in China. You do business with us, you are doing business with China. Because of historic reasons, we are open up to foreign business, and we have dealings with people from international community for a long, long time. But on the other hand, under the one country, two system arrangement, we are able to keep our own capitalistic economic system, and also keep our common law legal system. So common law legal system is very familiar to Israeli companies, business. This common law system is underpinned by independent judiciary. The Court of Final Appeal being in Hong Kong. And in the Court of Final Appeal, it is a legal requirement that we need to have at least one overseas judge sitting on the bench to rule on the cases. And the arbitral awards in Hong Kong is enforceable in over 150 jurisdictions, including the mainland of China. So this is a jurisdiction that offers you with very familiar common law legal system, excellent intellectual property protection. And this is important. And coming here, through our arrangements with the motherland, you will be able to have access to the vast market on the mainland. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So I come from more the community side of Hong Kong. You're more from the business side. So I've seen Hong Kong grow over the last almost 10 years now, from one co-work space to over 1 million square feet of co-work space.
Yeah.
We have lots of accelerators and lots of new funds opening all the time. And also, what do you think like Israeli startups can get from the soft landing in Hong Kong, maybe from Science Park or Cyberport? Maybe talk a little bit about these government initiatives.
We are very keen to attract Israeli companies to come to Hong Kong. We have a lot in common, both small population, both do not have natural resources. Our key competitive advantage is talent, our brain, and also our enterprising spirit. So we see tremendous opportunities for Hong Kong companies to work with Israeli companies. The government has put innovation and technology at the top of our policy agenda. I earlier on mentioned about the resources we have committed into it, over $10 billion US, and we stand ready to put in additional resources. And apart from money, we also we are building another science and technology park along the border with mainland. That is 3 times larger than the existing one. Coming with me in this delegation, we have representatives from Invest Hong Kong, from Cyberport, from the Science and Technology Park. And the idea is to let you know that we stand ready to work with you. Just call on any of our agency. We will be happy to guide you through how to land on Hong Kong. And according to international survey report, we rank number 1 in terms of fee economy. And we rank very top on the league table in terms of ease of doing business. You can form a company in Hong Kong within 24 hours. And our tax regime is very competitive. The standard tax rate, profits tax rate is only 16.5%. And in order to encourage innovation and technology, we give super deductions and also other tax advantages. So this is indeed a jurisdiction worth looking into.
Now in the U.S., they have the Facebooks, Apples, and Googles to do acquisitions. And in Hong Kong, we have access to Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent. What do you see the relationship working with Hong Kong and companies coming through Hong Kong with these kind of massive Chinese technology companies?
Well, Hong Kong is the dream place, I would say, for most of the innovation and technology companies on the mainland. As you mentioned, Alibaba, Tencent, they are already in Hong Kong. And we have amended our listing regime to allow new economy companies to be listed on our stock exchange easier. Say, for example, for biotech companies without revenue, if you are serious in your work, subject to fulfilling certain objective criteria, such as regulatory approval in terms of drug development, you can list your company on our stock exchange. If you are innovation companies, the founders may own a small portion of the company but want to maintain control. What we call this is companies with veto voting rights structures. You are welcome to get listed on our stock exchange. Since we introduced in April, already 3 companies got listed. So coming here, very business friendly, very facilitative. And because of the major tech giants on the mainland are also have their substantial presence in Hong Kong, they are also taking the opportunities to invest in these startups. And in the government, we launched a scheme. We launched quite a couple of different schemes, from offering initial seed monies to startups, to working with joint venture, working with private equity companies to jointly invest in startups on a matching basis. They invest $2, we invest $1. So in terms of finding equity partner, finding funding, even finding technology partner for launching your solutions, I think we offer a very promising proposition for you to consider.
And now, so personally, I want to ask you, what are 3 things that you love about Hong Kong besides dim sum?
Number 1, we do not just work, we enjoy life. So the cuisine and the wine and dine, excellent in Hong Kong, number 1.
Lan Kwai Fong, Soho, right? That's what you're talking about.
And also hawkers, Dai Pai Dong.
Dai Pai Dong, yeah.
Yeah.
Hawkers, he said, all right? Hawkers.
Yeah.
Right, just in case you're wondering.
Secondly, a number of cultural facilities are completing within these 2-3 years. So the cultural scene is very interesting. No matter it is museums, performing arts, or some of the revitalized historic buildings, we have put them into wonderful use. For example, recently such facility was opened. It is called Dai Guan. When we were a colony, when the British first came to Hong Kong, the judiciary, the police, the prison, all housed together in Central. And all this building now turned into wonderful cultural facilities and museum. Come see it yourself. And thirdly, which is which is not mentioned enough, it is our countryside. I'm sorry, I should have brought with me a video to show you. Within Hong Kong, you get a taxi. Within 30 minutes, you will be able to reach our country parks. Hiking is wonderful, and also wonderful scenery.
I think I also like to stress too is that Hong Kong is a very multinational city. as opposed to run the other cities in Asia, right? I think we have lots of different people. I'm originally from Canada, and a lot of Americans are there, and a lot of people from Europe are out there. So I feel that's a really good point for melting pot and for finding talent.
Yeah, just making reference to international school, you name it. Japanese, Korea, French, German, Swiss, the British, the US, a lot of different international schools, meaning that we have we are a very welcoming place for expatriates.
Okay, great.
And the city is very safe.
Yes,
the
very
crime
safe.
rate has been coming down over the past 4 decades, uninterrupted.
Yes.
For the ladies, trust me, very safe to walk on the street after drinking at the bar.
Okay. So any questions? Would you take a question, at least one question from the audience? No? Okay. So if you're interested to come to Hong Kong, what can everybody do? Is there we have a website? We have many websites to ask people to come to Hong Kong.
Yes. Click into Invest Hong Kong. Click into the website of the Hong Kong Tourism Board. Remember to enjoy life in Hong Kong.
Great. Okay, great. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Paul.
Casey.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.